Hello everybody, today I am going to discuss about AWT. Here AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. In Java language, AWT can be used to design GUI based applications. What is GUI? GUI means graphical user interface. So AWT can be used to design GUI based applications, and to design GUI based applications, Java provides some predefined classes in its library. Okay. That is where does it provide these classes? It provides in the form of java.awt.star package. So to create different components like label names, text boxes, text area, button, AWT package provides some predefined classes, and each and every predefined class is located in java.awt package, and these represent an AWT component. That is, each of these classes like label, names, text boxes, text area, button, etc. All these represent the AWT components, and they are resided in the java.awt package. In Java language, mainly two types of packages are available to develop 100% efficient GUI based applications. So there are two types of packages available in this AWT. One is java.awt.star and the other one is java.awt.event.star. And this java.awt.star mainly contains predefined classes like label, text boxes, text area, text field, button, etc. used to develop the AWT components but cannot be used to give functionalities for AWT components. That is, the components which are present in java.awt.star, that is the label, text field, text boxes, text area, and button, etc. Are just they are known as the AWT components, but they cannot provide any functionalities. That is, a static page can be developed with all these components. The next That is, even if you click a submit button, no operation will be performed because there is no functionality given in this GUI component because they are static. Since they are static, there will be no functionality given to this GUI components. And how this functionality is possible? This functionality can be possible only by using event handler. Now, what is this java.awt.event.star? This package contains predefined classes used to provide the functionalities for the GUI components. That is, when you click a submit button, some operation will be performed. The predefined classes of this package can be used to achieve event handling. That is, and whenever we want to create any AWT component, first we need to create an object for that class. Now, what are the types of AWT components? In Java language, components are mainly classified into auxiliary components and logical components. Auxiliary components are the components which are having both the touch and field. That is, no predefined classes are available for the auxiliary components in Java language, whereas logical components are the components which are having only field. And these are mainly classified into passive components and active components. And examples of active components is keyboard and mouse. That is, they are having only the uh, passive and active components. So examples of active components is keyboard and mouse, and passive components does not have any integration with the user. That is, they do not have any interaction with the user either by mouse or the mouse and the keyboard. That is, label names like name, username, password, etc. These are the passive components. That is, these passive components are mainly used to identify the input fields. But that is, the label names are mainly used to identify the input fields, but no operation can be performed on that. Whereas active components can interact with the user. That is, text box, text area, radio button, checkbox, button, etc. are the active components. Next, that is java.lang.object is the predefined base class for any Java program, either for predefined or user-defined classes. That is java.awt component is predefined class and it is the base class for each and every AWT component class. Next, what is a container? Container is a predefined class in AWT package used to integrate all the components. That is into a single unit. That is container contains all the components. It is used to integrate all the components into a single unit. Next, what is a window? Window is a predefined class in the AWT package which will act as a container while developing the GUI applications. Window also acts like a container, and we must create an object class. We must create an object class at the time of development of GUI application only. Next is frame. What is frame? Frame is a Frame is a predefined class in AWT package which represents a blank space in the window. That is, frame also represents a window, but what is the difference between frame and window? Frame represents a blank space in the window, and it is very mandatory to use at the time of development of GUI applications. Next, next is the that is, components of AWT can be arranged in any order within the container based on the requirement of the user. But how these components are arranged in the container, this is not possible directly. It can be achieved only by using some special layouts. How the components can be arranged in the container. They directly components cannot be arranged directly in the container. They need some special layouts. Now, what are these layouts? Layout is a plan which can be used by any user to arrange the components in a systematic order in the window. And Java supports four types of layouts. There are four types of layouts. What are those? Border layout, flow layout, grid layout, and grid bag layout. And these four are the predefined classes in the AWT package only. What is a border layout? The border layout mainly contains five different parts. That is, whenever object for border layout is created, the container is divided into five parts. Now, what are these five parts? The center is the default location for border layout, and the other four parts are north, south, east, and west. And border layout is the default layout for the frame class. Next is the flow layout. What is a flow layout? In the flow layout, we can arrange all the components in a sequential order. Okay, what is a flow layout? Where we can arrange the components like labels, text boxes, and everything in a sequential order. Next, grid layout. What is grid layout? Grid layout is used to arrange all the components in the rows and column format. That is in the form of cells. And but in the grid layout, there is no space formed between the cells. What is grid bag layout? Grid bag layout is used to arrange all the components in the rows and column format. But the difference between grid and grid bag layout is that grid layout does not contain any spaces, whereas grid bag layout contains spaces between the cells. Next, we'll discuss about frame. Frame is a predefined class in the AWT package which represents a blank space in the window. Just now I had told you frame represents only a blank space in the window. That is, whenever we are creating object for the frame class, that will be internally prepare the window as well as the container. Next is the and another non-container classes are whenever we want to create any GUI component inside the frame, that related object should be created first. That is, whenever you want to create any component like label, text field, text area, button, etc. inside the frame, that first that related object should be created first, and finally that object can be added to the frame. Now, what is a label? Label names are the identifiers in the GUI applications. Like what are the label names you are having? Name, email ID, age, etc. And how the label object is created? Label L equal to new label of label name. Next is button. Button is a predefined class used to create buttons. Checkbox. What is a checkbox? Checkbox can be used either for single or multiple selection of items which are available on frame. What is a checkbox? Checkbox is used to select either single or multiple selections of items. And single selection, how it is achieved? Single selection can be achieved by creating radio buttons. To create radio buttons, we should create an object of checkbox group class, and that should be passed as reference in the checkbox class object. Next is the text field. What is a text field? Text field is a predefined class used to create the text box. So all of you know what is a text box. So text box allows all types of data like alphabets, numerics, special symbols, etc. So these are the predefined classes available in the AWT package. Next is the text area. Text area can be used to create a text area. Allows more data in rows and columns format. That is, sometimes you need to add more lines. Then you need a text area in the form of rows and columns. So I told event handling. What is an event handling? That is changing the state of an object is known as event. And for example, clicking a button, dragging a mouse, etc. And this java.awt.event package provides many event classes and listener interfaces for event handling. So now I'll show you some examples. First, see this AWT example. First import java.awt.star. Then public class AWT example extends frame. Then constructor is taken here AWT ex. Then first object for the button is created. Button B equal to new button of button name. Then B dot set bounds of 30, 100, 80, 30. What do you mean by this? We are setting the position of the button or setting the button position. Then add of B. That is adding, we are adding the button to the frame. Then set size of 300, 300. What is this set size? Set size is the frame size of width 300 and height 300. Then set layout of null. Set layout null means we are not using any layout here. There is no layout manager. Then set visible true means now frame will be visible. By default frame is not visible. So if you say set visible true, then frame will be visible. So now we will run this program. So this is the window and sorry, this is the frame. Inside the window there will be the frame. And inside the frame we have created a button, but if you click the button nothing happens here. No functionality is taking place. Why? Because this is static now. There is no functionality in the AWT java.awt.star package. Only functionalities can take place in java.awt.event package. Okay. Next is the button example. Here public static always first import java.awt.star public class button example. Always control starts from the main method. First you are creating the object for the frame here. Frame if equal to new frame. Here it is the frame name. Then final text field object df equal to new text field. Now we are creating a text field object here. Then we are setting the position of the text field. How do you set the position of the text field? By using tf dot set bounds of 50, 50, 150, 20. Then button b equal to new button of click here. This is the button name. Then we are setting the position of the button by b dot set bounds of 50, 100, 60, 30. Then b dot add action listener of new action listener. Now event handling is taking place now. Public void action performed is the method here. Tf dot set text welcome to Java point. That is what is the action that is going to take place. Once you click the button here, it should display welcome to Java point. Then f dot you are adding the button to the frame and the text field to the frame. Then you are setting the frame size to 400, 400, and we are not using any layout manager, and we are setting the frame to be visible. So when you run this program, we'll run this program and see. See here what happens here. When you write anything, welcome. I'm writing welcome here, and I'm clicking this. So welcome to Java. T point is displayed. This is the action that is going to take place. That is whatever you write in this text field, when you once you click the button, welcome to Java T point will be taken by this text field. Next is the label example. First import java.awt.start, then public class label example extends frame and implements action listener. Action listener is an interface, we need to implement it. Then text field object tf and label object and button b object is created. Then label ex constructor is created. Inside that we are creating the object for text field. We are setting the position for this text field using tf.setBounds of 50, 50, 150, 20. Then we are creating the object for the label and we are setting the position for the label using l.setBounds of 50, 100, 250, 20. Then we are creating an object for the button and setting the position of the button by b.setBounds of 50, 150, 60, 30. Then b dot add action listener of this. Then we need to an action has to take place once the button is clicked. And then we are adding the button, we are adding the text field, we are adding the label to the frame. Then set size 400, 400. Set the frame size to 400, width 400, height 400. There is no layout manager here. And frame let the frame be visible. Set by setting the set visible to frame will be visible here. In public void action performed action event. So what is happening here? Always the control starts from the main method. When you say new label ex, then control goes into this constructor. And when action performed of action event, when you click this button, what happens? This host address, you will get the host address using this string IP equal to java.net.inet address dot get by name of host dot get host address. So once you click the button, you need to get the host address. So we'll run this program and see. So whatever you may write. So what happens here when you say find IP? So it is saying no such host is known. Hello. Okay, it is throwing an exception. So you can write any IP address here. For example, 120, something else. Some IP address, if you write and say find IP, no such host is known. If you write the IP, it will find the IP address. Okay, if I say localhost, see it is saying IP of the localhost is 127.0.0.1. So you need to enter the host name here. Next is the panel. What is panel? First you need to import java.awt.start, then public class panel ex, then constructor for panel is created here, frame object is created, then panel object is created, then we are setting the position for the panel, panel dot set bounds of 40 comma 80 comma 200 comma 200. Then you are setting the panel background to color dot gray. Then you are creating the object for the button. Then you are setting the position for the button v1 dot set bounds of 50 comma 100 comma 80 comma 30. You are setting the background color for the button as yellow. You are creating an object for button B2 and setting the position for button B2 and setting the background color for button B2 as green. Then you are adding the button B1 and B2 to the panel and adding the panel to the frame. So first you need to add the button to the panel and panel needs to be added to the frame. Then you set the size of the frame, that is width of 400 and height of 400. Then f dot set layout of null. Here there is no layout manager. There is no layout manager is used here. F dot set visible to, you are letting the frame to be visible. So always control starts from the main method. When you say new panel X, the control enters into this panel X. So now run this program. So this is the frame and this is the panel. This gray color is the panel. This panel is added to the frame. Button B1 is yellow color. Button B2 is green color. But no action is performed here. Next is the checkbox example. First you need to import java.awt.star public class checkbox example. In this first create the object for the frame and the label. Then set the alignment of the label. That is where do you position the label? Label dot center. Align the label, label dot center. Then label dot set size. What is the size of the label? Width and height is 400 is the width, 100 is the height. Then create an object for checkbox 1 and checkbox dot set bound. Set the position for this checkbox. Then create another checkbox and set the position for this checkbox 2. Then add the checkbox 1 and checkbox 2 to the frame and add the label also to the frame. Then you checkbox 1 dot add item listener of new item listener. Public void item state changed of item event e. Label dot set text C++ checkbox. This e dot get state change. That is what is happening here. First, the control enters into the main program. Once you set new checkbox, the control enters into this constructor. So what is happening here? We'll run this program and see. So when you select the C++, then C++ checkbox is checked. If you select Java, Java checkbox is checked. C++ checkbox is unchecked. Whatever action you are performing, whether checking or unchecking, that particular action is displayed here. That is here checkbox 2, checkbox 1 dot add item listener. Here you are using an item listener. What is the event handling you are using here? Add item listener. That is whatever action you perform, whether check or uncheck, that will be displayed here. This is the program. So I'll stop here. I'll continue in the next class.